Alright guys, welcome back to Multimedia Fusion. We're going to be working on our Project 3, which is your classic style game. And I'm going to show you just some features on scrolling techniques and using platforms. And I'm going to use some of the preset animations and features that are available on Multimedia Fusion. But for your games, I want you to use your creativity. I want you to build your own objects. I'm just going to show you some basic ideas on how you can create things and build just some basic games. You don't have to build a platform game. You can build any classic style game. But we're going to get started here with the platform game. So let's go ahead and we're going to adjust our size. We're going to take this to 800 by 600. Now remember, if you're changing your size here and you're working with Photoshop, you want to change your Photoshop features too to fit to these screens. So now that we have our window changed here, let's go into our frame, and we want to change these settings. We want our application window to stay the same, but we want our frame window, we want to take this up to 3000. And you can make yours bigger if you want to. You can make yours smaller. I'm just going to go with 3000 for mine, just to give us a good area to work with. So this is going to be the area that's viewed when you're playing your game. This is the view area, but this is your game in its entirety. So let's go ahead and start bringing some platforms in, and let's build some platforms and see what we can get started here. And this is a quick backdrop, so we can expand it, and it's going to copy what's already there. So we'll start out with just a good solid platform to start with. Let's bring a floating platform up to the top here. Let's see what else we've got down here. Some ladders. Bring a ladder down. And you can keep building, and these are little end caps and just certain things that you can add to your game that just finishes off the illustrations and animations. And with the quick backdrops, you can expand and tweak, and it'll copy the elements that it's started with. And you can take the same idea with your Photoshop images and expand them and change them and do all that kind of good stuff. So let's finish our platforms here and go ahead and get to the end. Add one more ladder and one more floating island there at the top. This will be the end element. And you can see how this is overlapping the ladder. You can right click and you want to change the order, so this needs to go to the back. Let's see how that finishes the animation off. So now that we have all these completed, we want to go ahead and select our backdrops here, and you can tell that they don't have animation elements because they're quick backdrops. We want to change these to platforms. So we'll go in here and change all of these to platforms. And these here, since they're ladders, we'll go ahead and make them ladders. and just go through and double check and make sure you have everything set up. Alright, and these little end pieces too, make sure they're set up, because if your character goes too far to the edge and it's not set up as an obstacle or a platform, they'll fall off. So now that we have this set up, let's find us some characters to use. Go to our fully animated characters down here. We'll do a warrior. It kind of goes along with what we've built here. And so if we go ahead and run it, you can see that we don't have any other applications set up yet. So let's go ahead and take our character here, and we're going to set him up to platform movement. And he should be fully animated. We can double check. He's got stop, he's got walking frames, he's got dying frames, shooting, jumping, getting hit. And this is the one thing he doesn't have, is a climbing frame. So when he climbs the ladders, it's just going to be his standard walking frame that he's going to look like when he goes up the ladder. So now that we've got him set up, if you run the frame, you can see he falls through the platform. So we need to go into our event editor and go ahead and set up a condition for the character. So we want to select our character, and we want collision. We want collision with backdrop. And we want our character's movement to stop. And now he stays on the platform. And you can see if he walks up the ladder, he doesn't have a climbing animation, so he just uses the walk animation that he's already got. So now that we have this set up, you can see if he finishes walking, the frame doesn't follow him. So how we want to do that, we want to go to another new condition, and we want to set up our special, and we want to set up an always. And for our always, we want to go to our controller, and we want to set up scrolling features, and we want to set to center window position. We want to make our center window position, we want to make it relative to our character. And you can see that it places it way up top. We just want to grab that handle and bring it down and just center it onto the character and hit OK. So now when we test our movie, our character moves, you can see that the window moves along with him. And he'll follow the windows as long as he keeps going until he falls off the stage. And that's essentially the setup that you can use for a scrolling type video game. And you can add other elements and characters, and you can add, let's say if we added another character here for him to fight, and we can set up his fight sequences. So we can go into our event editor. We want to do a new condition, and on our character and animation, which animation is playing. And I don't know if he has an attack animation or not, but we'll just do a jumping animation. And now we want to do to make his animation play,